We sat in that stand tucked up against a palm tree for almost an hour before we saw anything at all. Then, out across the field, some movement. Some fawns, then some does, and then a bunch of bucks, including a couple of big ones. Those deer fed out into the middle of the field, almost into bow range, before something scared them off. We sat another couple of hours with no action, and were about ready to call it quits when more deer started moving. That group had some really nice bucks, but there were a couple that caught my attention. One had some velvet still hanging off the one side, and the other a clean rack, but very big, very tall. Both were a lot bigger than any of the other animals around them, and I knew I'd take either one if I got the chance. It took a while, but the deer worked into range. There were so many, it was almost impossible to get a shot. Every time I started to draw, an animal looked up. I stood there a long time waiting for one of the big bucks to turn broadside. Well, eventually, one of the big boys moved off so I could concentrate on the one left in front of me. Finally, he took a couple of steps, and the other deer moved away. He was quartered slightly to me, but I knew it was the right time. I had been told axis deer are really tough, but I didn't expect this. If I would have shot a whitetail like that, he would have walked off and died in sight. This axis buck didn't even look like he'd been hit. We just got down out of the tree. Danny and the boys came over, said they can see him laying over here, 150 yards away? 150 yards away. His head's still up. He's gonna die. The question is when. Now I'm thinking I want to just leave him sit there and die on his own, so it's a straight bow kill. These guys know these axis bucks far better than I do, and they say we should probably walk over there and finish him off with a gun, because if he gets up and does take off, the odds of getting him are real slim. They're going to let us wait for a little bit, so we're going to wait it out for now and see what happens. We gave the buck a few more minutes and walked over to where I'd seen him last. He was laying just a few yards beyond that. Now, I don't pretend to be an expert at all, right? But here's what they were telling us. Look for something wide. He was wider than the other animals in the field. These are supposed to be long, and they were. And these, I've never shot one before. I'm real happy with this guy.